Senior cat wellness. We all do what we can to make sure that's the case. To make certain that our aging felines are in the best health possible. The feline ownership journey, it can be quite the mixed bag. But above all, it can be a wonderful journey. Watching your cat grow and mature while in many ways you're doing just the same. Getting to know your pet on a deeper level while growing that bond of love and trust. If you've had your pet since they were a kitten, by the time they do reach senior status, you can confidently say that it's been a shared journey and hopefully a beautiful journey. But what are the signs, perhaps those subtle and not so subtle indicators, that your cat just isn't as healthy and spry as they once were? Reading the signs and understanding the role that you play in all of it. That is today's subject. Interesting topic, and hopefully a very helpful and important one. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. Let's begin our topic with the outward signs of decreased grooming, lack of grooming. Your cat is starting to look unkempt, and you know that's not normal. When cats age, the older they get, especially when they start knocking on that door of senior status, their appearance will likely change. Lack of grooming is often caused by a general lack of mobility. Grooming, it's a tough task. During those glory years, your pet could probably turn themselves into a pretzel while grooming. I think as owners, we all pretty much take that for granted. Watching a cat groom, they do it so effortlessly, so it gets a little bit less of our attention. But with old age comes arthritis and general joint stiffness, a lack of energy, and just the mindset that it might not be worth it. Senior cats learn to pick and choose how they want to spend their energy, what they want to dedicate their time doing. And unfortunately, appearance can often get left behind. I've said this many times on this channel, countless times. To a feline, appearance is pretty much everything, and many times the sign of trouble, outward trouble, whether we're talking about illness or aging, is often found in a lack of grooming and a rather rough appearance. And that leads us to the conversation concerning overall mobility, because if your cat is having trouble grooming, they're likely having trouble getting around just in general. Those running days are over, and soon, if not already, those jumping days. If you've noticed that it seems to take everything out of your pet just to jump on your sofa, an act they wouldn't have to think twice about, perhaps just a few years earlier. This, once again, is an example of Father Time catching up to your loving pet. Your cat is starting to slow down and take more deliberate and thoughtful motions. This is a sign that your pet is reaching those golden years. And as we so often do here on the channel, let's talk about food and your cat's diet, how important it is. One of the signs that your cat is aging is a noticeable change in food consumption. Some pets slow down while other cats choose to eat more, or have the desire to eat more. With a decrease in general mobility, some older cats will begin to gain weight, while other felines that have started to consume less will naturally drop a few pounds. Now let's talk about your cat's fur, your cat's skin and coat. As your pet ages, that coat will age with it. A bit earlier I spoke about a lack of grooming, but even with proper grooming, it's not uncommon for your cat's coat to look rather dull, and also become a bit rough with respect to the texture. Thinking about it from the human standpoint, let's talk about aging skin. There's quite the difference between age 85 and 25, and your cat's skin and the coat will age in a similar fashion. Let's now turn our attention to sleep. We all know that cats love to sleep a lot. Your feline in total could spend almost half of the day, half of those 24 hours asleep. But a cat entering senior status, well, they can sleep even more. Even the healthiest of elderly felines could sleep upwards of 18 hours per day in some cases. Just another sign, perhaps a subtle sign, that your pet is indeed getting older. And what about those meows, those cries? It's not uncommon for older cats to be a bit more talkative. Even felines that were rather quiet during those adult years, they could have a lot to say as they enter those golden years. Senior cats are known to be rather needy at times. Your pet's vocals that are aimed at you, could point to the fact they're in need of your attention, now more than ever. And speaking of your pet and their actions, what about their vision? What about their hearing? Some of those vocals could be due to the fact that your cat might not be hearing all that well, seeing with the same clarity that they did just years before. It's not uncommon for senior cats or those nearing senior status to become very frustrated. And poor vision, poor hearing, even a poor sense of smell. It's not only common for that to happen, but also commonly frustrating for cats. Just be mindful that your aging cat, their senses, they're just not as sharp as they used to be. And this naturally leads us to behavior and personality. As your cat ages, their personality will change a bit, and in large measure to how they are reacting and responding to their very own physical changes. No one wants to lose their fastball. No one wants to get older. It can be rough, and one of the signs that your cat is aging involves how they act, how they behave and respond to you and the world around them. And this leads us to general health and health challenges. Getting older, it can introduce a greater threat of disease and illness. I spoke about arthritis a bit earlier, but issues such as kidney disease and dental concerns can rise to the forefront. This is why now more than ever, those regular vet visits, those vet checkups become so very important. And let's close things out with that litter box. Mobility, poor mobility, is one of the more obvious signs of an aging feline, as noted earlier, but where it can really show and rear its ugly head, if you will, is at that litter box. If your cat is having a difficult time or just general difficulty getting in the box itself, also a difficult time covering waste, this could be a sign of a body in decline. It's not uncommon for some cats to simply give up, either refuse to cover that waste or refuse to use the litter box at all. Instead, your pet could start to do their business elsewhere. And that's certainly not what anyone wants or needs. Just be mindful of that litter box and how it's used, or if it's used. It can truly hold the key to how your cat is doing physically in that big picture. This is not unlike your pet's decline in grooming. To the wonderful audience of Senior Cat Wellness, I'll now turn things over to you. What are the signs that you've personally noticed that could indicate your cat's age or that they are aging? Signs that can tell that your pet has entered a new chapter in their life. Your thoughts and personal ownership stories. That comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed today's content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.